Okay, I really want that guy to come with us. How do I make that happen?
The random person you just bumped into in the market?
Yeah, what was his name again? What was his name?
Bob?
It says you called him George. His name is George?
George.
George Stephanopoulos. I want to charm him to come with us.
Roll for it.
I got a natural 20 on persuasion. My persuasion's plus 14.
Hi, I'm George, and I would like to...
What equipment does George have? Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about sidekicks, the disposable pieces of shit that travel with you so that you don't have to die that one time.
This was an Unearthed Arcana back in December. We were going through Unearthed Arcana to see if there was anything fun, and we realized that we didn't ever talk about it.
We were going through Unearthed Arcana because we were betting that there was going to be an Artificer update, but we were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think there probably will be, but maybe not yet. But we'll see what happens.
Knock on wood.
You can actually do that. But so let's get into it. What is a sidekick and what are the benefits and how does it work?
Yep.
So the first thing is that the person or thing, because it can be like a mastiff or it can be a monster or something like that, has to be a challenge rating 1 or lower.
Okay.
They must be also friendly with you.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Those are the key things to make that character.
But aside from those requirements, it can be anything. Like there's no built-in limitation. It's just a conversation between you and your GM and role-playing, trying to find an appropriate character for you.
Yeah, and like the GM, of course, is going to have like this character has the motivation because it has a family and they don't want to leave. Like there might be more difficult things. Like
you're not going to be able to get a father to leave their children
easily. Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right? Unless your GM's, never mind.
But that's like, there isn't any specific rules on how to get a sidekick, but more so once you have a sidekick.
We've been doing that a lot today.
This is how it works. You know, it immediately gets one of 3 class subtypes, basically.
Oh, okay. The
classes are Warrior, Expert, and Spellcaster.
Okay.
If you can't tell what they're kind of based around.
I can.
Yeah. The Warrior is really interesting because the Warrior, let me rephrase that. They all have their own proficiency bonuses, they have their own skills and their own saving throws. They have everything for themselves. They even have their own progression as well as like spells per day.
Do these things replace the statistics of the creature or individual that you've recruited?
So the statistics like of its like stats of like strength and dex and stuff like that, that's all staying the same.
Oh, okay.
The class is the only thing that's going to take over anything that the character previously had as for abilities.
Okay, fair enough.
So when you get them, they're going to take on one of the 3 classes. So let's start with Warrior. They're all pretty in-depth because they are basically 3 unique classes that, while reliant on D&D classes as it is, they are slightly different.
They're NPC versions.
Yes, exactly. So starting at first level, you're going to get proficiency bonuses as well as a saving throw to add your proficiency with. Now that's the same across all of the classes.
Fair enough. And to be clear, when we say you're going to get, we mean the NPC sidekick that you've recruited.
Yes.
That we're going to be saying that the whole time, but we don't mean you, the player. We mean the NPC that's following.
Well, and something that they even talk about is that the NPC could be played by the player, it could be played by the GM, or it can be a combination that all of the players control.
Yep.
Like there's a bunch of different kind of ways that how the NPC works, and that's going to be table to table based.
Sure, of course. At first level, a warrior sidekick is also going to get second wind, which is a useful feature that warriors have that allow them to heal.
Yep.
Which is great.
Then they're also going to get danger sense, which gives them advantage on dexterity saving throws against things that they can see.
Okay, that's cool. That's kind of a unique ability.
Yeah.
Not super unique.
It exists already, but it's
for the warrior, I think.
Yeah.
That's also at level 2. At level 3, a warrior is going to get improved critical, which is going to expand their critical threat range from 20 to 19 to 20.
Yeah. This is actually kind of unique because that actually grows at higher levels.
Really? So you go to 18 to 20? Oh. Okay. I dig it.
Then at 5th level, you're going to be getting an extra attack as the warrior.
Same thing as, you know, a fighter.
Yep.
At level 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19, you're going to get an ability score improvement. Now, here's the question. Can you use the ability score improvement to take a feat? Is that still there?
It didn't say, but I assume.
Yeah, because it didn't say specifically that you couldn't, right? So judging by the way that the feat rules are written, it says whenever you take an ability score improvement, you can instead. So maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I want them to clarify because this is such a unique circumstance. I'd want them to verbose.
And
like,
I think
I
think if you have feats, I think having a sidekick having a feat is also kind of important.
Yeah, especially because some of them can like help the team. You know, they're not all just like selfish like NPC things.
Yeah, I also imagine that sidekicks are probably mostly going to be used with groups that are 1 or 2 players.
A little small.
A little smaller groups. So
yeah, there's no reason to give a player 2 turns when you're running with 7 PCs.
Exactly. Then at 11th and 20th, you gain another extra attack. So that's a total of 5, 11, and 20.
So that's 4 attacks at level 20. That's a lot. This is not designed to be weak.
No.
This is absolutely useful.
They are their own character, except for I would say they're not as versatile because they don't get subclasses.
Yeah, I'd 100% agree with that. But definitely not something to be like, oh, look, it's just a sidekick. Like,
exactly.
These things eat faces.
They can take on their own hits.
Yeah. At level 7, the warrior is going to get battle readiness, which is basically going to give them advantage on initiative checks, which is like nifty. They get to, take the first damage. The disposable piece of sidekick nothingness is going to be the first thing to die. Great, perfect. Rolling initiative first doesn't mean that you take damage. I just want to be clear about that. Like, it's just like they can put themselves in a situation where they are the most advantageous target, and then the enemy. I'm not dumb. I know how to play. Okay, don't judge me.
I'm judging you.
I know. You're always judging me.
At 9th level, the warrior is going to get Indomitable, which gives them the ability to re-roll a failed saving throw once per day, once per rest. Yeah, long rest.
At level 10, the warrior's base AC is going to increase by 1, which is cool. This is a feature called Improved Defense, by the way. I didn't say that. Again, this is just like a baseline stat buff that isn't super available to classes. Even the fighter, I think, has to take a feat for something like this, right? And it would be associated with heavy armor, for example. You could get additional AC or there might be one for shields. No, there isn't one for shields. There's one for heavy armor. Regardless, they're buffing this a lot.
Yeah.
At later levels. This is getting really strong.
Well, and then at 15th level, that's when they get the superior critical, which is 18 to 20 is going to be your crit threat range.
That's nuts.
Yeah, this is definitely someone that is
a melee fighter.
A melee fighter, and definitely someone that is going to be going toe to toe with other other players.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. My question is, do you outfit this person? Can you as though you were in a RPG on a computer game, can you just be like, hey, use this gear?
Yeah.
And just give them magic items, can they attune?
As far as I'm aware, they didn't say anything that prevented you from it. And this is theoretically another just person within the world.
Yeah, why would they not be able to? That's cool.
Yeah.
Next up, we're talking about the expert. If the warrior is the fighter equivalent, the expert is kind of the rogue equivalent, right?
I would actually say more towards a non-magical bard.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. They're not sneak attack. They're not based in that sort of combat, but they're there to be like a skill monkey, basically.
They have a ton of skills, and they are meant to assist other players a lot of the time.
I like it. I like this. This feels like what a sidekick would be to a lot of people in their mind. And I think maybe the warrior and the caster one are both great options for people that want them. But I think this flavor is the closest to what a lot of people will expect.
Yeah, and what's unique about this class is at first level, when you get your proficiency bonuses, you get additional proficiencies than you do the others. But then at level 13, you get additional skills that you're going to be able to add to your proficiency.
All right.
And this is kind of where I get that bardy feel to it, where it's just cool, I know everything. I know about everything.
At level 1, 6, and 17, you're going to get expertise with 2 skills. If you're not familiar with expertise, it basically allows you to double your proficiency bonus for that skill. So that at level 17 is going to give you 6 skills with which you can take expertise, and that is a lot.
Oh yeah. You're succeeding at a lot of checks.
I mean, even level 1, getting 2 expertise skills is really good. You can fill in some huge gaps in a group just with that.
And I mean, without like, you know, unless you're putting him in stealth or whatever, I would definitely, if I could build my own sidekick, it would be like, cool, you're the lore person.
Yeah.
You're Deckard Cain, you're hanging out with me.
You're the nerd that's following me around, and when I need to know what that is, you open your book and you tell me what that is.
Stay a while and listen.
To kind of go on top of that, the next ability it's going to get is helpful.
How is it helpful?
Oh, well, they get to take the help action as a bonus action on their turn.
Ooh, okay. You know, the funny thing about help, which is, if you don't know, by default, an action, a standard action, I don't think a lot of people use it because it takes an entire action. Like, you basically only use help when you have nothing else that you can do. I don't think it's a default move for a lot of players. And because of that, I think a lot of people don't know how to use it correctly.
Sure.
Like, well, does it give you advantage, or is it a numerical benefit? And like, how do you set the DC for help? I don't understand how to do all this.
I think the only people that use it is casters with familiars.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I think this is going to familiarize a lot of players with that rule and kind of show them how useful it is. And then, adding on top of that, the fact that it's only a bonus action, and so you can basically spam it every turn because I don't see anything else here that's bonus action. It's at least not at level 1. That's going to get really strong.
All of that is just level 1.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I think that's important to realize that at level 1...
2 expertise, your normal proficiency stuff that you get at level 1, and helpful. That's good. At level 2, you're going to get cunning action, which is going to allow you to dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. So now you have more options with bonus action at level 2. And this cunning action is something that rogues get by default. And it's super useful. Again, if you are in a situation where maybe your ally doesn't need help, but you, the sidekick, are screwed, you can get out, or you can go further away. Like, there's a lot of like selfish things here.
You could theoretically go in. Oh no, because then that's 2 bonus actions. I was like, well, actually, you can go in, use help action as an action, and then use the bonus action to disengage.
Yeah, that's cool. I dig it.
Then at 3rd level, they're going to get Jack of Many Trades, which means that any skill that they do not have proficiency in, they add half of their proficiency into it. And this kind of is, again, more bardy feeling to it. Like, cool, you know everything, you can do anything.
This is like bardic knowledge.
Yeah.
But like not also. Great sentence, Krug.
You're not half bad at stealthing. You know what I mean?
Half bad because you're
well, half
good.
Well, I mean, half bad I would say is a 0.
Oh sure.
And then bad would be like
negatives.
Yeah. When you're wearing plate armor.
Yeah. At that same list of levels as before, you get ability scoring improvements. Same question about feats. Moving on to the next thing.
At 5th level, you get an extra attack.
Just like players.
Yep.
Good job. You're almost a real boy. At level 7, you get Evasion, which, if you're not familiar with the feature that comes from Rogueland, allows you to take half damage when you fail a dexterity saving throw. If you succeed a dexterity saving throw, you take no damage. Normally, when you fail a dex saving throw, you take full damage. When you succeed, you take half damage.
Yep.
So it's another like selfish survivability thing that's based in like roguish stats and roguish like features. I'm definitely seeing where you're coming from with Bard. I think they're kind of like going back and forth.
Yeah,
because I feel like whenever I say something out loud, I'm like, this is Rogue, and whenever you do, you're like, this is Bard, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with you.
I think the only reason I would say I'm leaning more towards Bard is because of its capstone, or its like main big abilities are very bardic, versus it's just kind of like survivability or roguish, you know, and so like they don't get sneak attack.
Sure.
You know, that's the big like roguey kind of thing.
Now I'm excited for the capstones.
At 9th level, speaking of bardic things, whenever you use the helpful action, you are now going to give the player in which you are helping 1d6 on the next d20 roll that they make.
Just
right?
like the rogue sneak attack.
Just like bardic
inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
But here's the interesting thing, and I guess you could think about it roguish like, is that the player has the option to forego adding that d6 to the hit.
Right.
And if they do hit,
they can add it to the damage instead.
Yes.
Which makes it not sneak attack.
No.
But it is like a damage buff that is like power curve wise No, not even along the same
No,
vein.
no, because-
And not power curve wise. That's not what I meant to say. I'm just saying it's the same dice.
Yeah, it's just a D6.
It's a D6.
Because at level 18, that turns into 2D6.
Right. And then at level...
Nope, that's it.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Oh, that says 2d6. I thought that said level 20. Why would something scale at 9th, 18th, and 20th? That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, so at 18th level, you're getting 2d6 to
Sure.
add. And I don't believe you can do like 1d6 to your d20 roll, 1d6
No,
to damage.
how's it written?
No, it's...
Yeah, they can instead forego it, not
Yeah,
part of it.
exactly.
I get it. At level 11, you're going to get Reliable Talent, which allows you to treat skill checks below a 10 as a 10.
A 9 or below, basically.
Yeah, which is below a 10.
I know, but...
That wording might be important in some situations, fair
Yeah.
enough. So if you roll a 9 or below,
Yeah.
you can treat it as though you had rolled a 10. Mm-hmm. Now, does that work for ones? Oh, but you can't critically fail skill checks. I always forget that. Ignore what I just said.
At 15th level, you're going to get Sharp Mind, which is going to make it so that you're now proficient in one of the following saving throws, either Wisdom, Intelligence, or Charisma saving throws. So it's just kind of making you more...
Just a general buff.
Yeah.
And it's good because it's later level, you can kind of, based on the situation that you're in, like, you know a lot about the world that you're in now. So maybe that's going to help you decide, like, oh, what saving throw is going to be more useful.
What's the thing that I keep failing at?
All right, the level 20 capstone's actually gorgeous. Once per short or long rest, you can treat any miss as a hit, which is grossly just beautiful. Or, if you fail a skill check, you can choose to treat your roll as a 20.
Yep.
Now, baseline rules, you can't crit a skill check, right? Same way you can't critically
Correct.
fail a skill check. But still, rolling a 20 on a skill check is just as satisfying as rolling a 20 on anything else.
Yep.
And then you still add either your half of your proficiency or double your proficiency or your normal proficiency along with that roll. You're probably gonna succeed. You know?
Yeah, you basically gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna take 20 on this one.
Yeah. And you tell me if I succeed or not, because you know, you gotta give
Let's
me
see,
something.
20 plus my double proficiency
Yeah.
at level 20.
At level 20.
Yeah.
Plus all the points I have in that skill because it's one of my skills.
You're thinking Pathfinder. You don't get to put points into skills.
I mean, like based off of
Oh.
Your
Your
ASI.
yeah. All right, the last sidekick is going to be Spellcaster. This one is unique, but exactly like every other Spellcaster, right? So I know. First off, you choose a spellcasting school. So
Any of them.
You can be a wizard, a sorcerer, a
Oh, okay.
warlock, a cleric.
You don't mean like illusion?
No.
necromancy. Okay.
So you choose any of the spell groups. And here's the weird thing about it is, you know how warlocks have significantly less spells per day that they can cast?
Yes.
But they can regain them after a short rest?
Correct.
No matter what one you choose, you have the same spells known per day, number of spells you can cast per day. Theoretically, if you have a warlock sidekick, they're getting more higher level spells castable per day.
If you like the warlock list, but you don't like the warlock limitation of spells per day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But the limitation behind that is that they don't gain their spell slots back after a short rest like a warlock normally.
They also don't automatically heighten to their highest known level, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's really important to know.
Correct.
At level 2, you're going to get Magical Recovery. This is going to allow you to recover spell slots during a short rest, but there are some caveats. You can't recover any spell slots higher than level 6. You can't recover a number of spell slots whose levels added together equals your level rounded half your level rounded down.
Yeah.
So that was a little complicated. So if you're level 4, right, half your level rounded down is 2, you can recover up to 2 levels worth of spell slots. So that's 2 level 1 spell slots or 1 level 2 spell slots.
Yep.
If you're level 20, you can recover 10 levels worth of spell slots, but that doesn't mean you can recover a 9th level spell slot.
Correct. It's basically 2 5th levels
Yeah.
is like the highest combo.
Yeah, the highest like single denomination combo.
4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 19. You're going to get ability score upgrades.
8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9, 9.
No.
You're gonna get nothing. At 6th level, you're gonna get Potent Cantrips, which is actually super nifty. It's gonna allow you to add your spell casting modifier to cantrip damage, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. At 10th level, you're going to get Empowered Spell, where you're going to choose a spellcasting school and add your modifier to any spell that you cast in that school to either the damage or healing that you would be doing.
Which is strong, because this is like a meta magic thing. Like very close to like empowered magic.
Yeah.
But it's always on.
Yeah.
Like, to be clear, this isn't something you sacrifice anything to do.
Yeah.
This is just there.
Which is unique and different because this could be on a cleric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's like the intersection between warlock and sorcerer, kind of. Because warlocks do this, like, oh, like your magic is more potent than others, but you do it less. This gets to cast more, but it still has this like slight empowerment of its spells, while at the same time having versatility of other casters. Like, this is a really interesting middle ground that I kind of wish would be fleshed out into a class, to be honest. But that's just me. At level 14, you're gonna get focused casting, which is basically just giving you advantage on Constitution saving throws. I've seen a lot of games that do not play with Constitution saving throws for casters. And I think that's a shame, because I think that it's a really huge balance point for casters.
being able to concentrate on a long-running spell, which, like, there's a lot.
Well, they
Mage
play,
armor.
they play with concentration.
Yeah.
Like the spell category, they just don't do the saving throws. Yeah, I think it's maybe just difficult to remember for a lot of players and a lot of GMs. There is a lot going on with spell casting, and just adding that is like strenuous. So it's kind of like, is it going to see the light of day for me in my head? But at the same time, if you're playing by the rules, this is strong.
Yep.
Like, for sure.
Yeah. At level 20, you're going to get signature spells, where you're going to choose two first through third level spells, and then you get to then cast them at third level for free.
All right.
Yeah. So you're gaining a couple of spell slots, basically. You're basically gaining 2 third level spell slots.
That you can only use to cast those spells.
Exactly.
Now, here's the question. Between those 2 spells that you've chosen, can you use both of your casts to cast one of them?
From my understanding of the reading of it is that you choose 2 separate spells.
Yeah.
And you get to cast each of them.
Each of them once.
Yeah.
Okay, that's still really strong. The other really strong part about this is that it recovers on a short rest. So even if you're completely out of spell slots, you're gonna get these back, along with the ones you get at level 2 or whatever, whenever you get the magic short rest thing where you recover spell slots. Boy, oh boy, am I great at presenting information to people on YouTube. Hi everybody, my name's Krug.
Either way about it, I do think that these are very interesting ways. Like, I've seen this kind of thing done in 3.5, so I don't think it's like a huge step away from what they did there. But I do like that this might be implemented. I do like how strong the warrior and the expert are.
Yeah, I hope they don't tone them down too much, because I can feel like a lot of people might say some of this stuff is really strong. And it might come from a place of like, I'm jealous, I want this on my character.
Sure. But I don't think that, other than like improved critical, like, I don't think that these are so strong that if you put the same level fighter versus the same level warrior, I think the fighter's winning 9 times out of 10, you know what I mean?
I agree with that. There's so much more versatility in, I think every one except the caster might be too close to the player caster. Maybe.
I think the thing that's unique about it is the fact that you can choose whatever spell class subgroup that you want to, and have the same spell casting as you would as a wizard.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting. I think
that's the only thing that might encroach on the player's territory. Though,
I just think it's boring.
It is also a little bit boring.
Like
it's basically all of it is you can cast spells better, and it's spells are so it's such a cop-outy way of creating diversity in a class, because there might be some diversity there, but the other wizard can do it too, whereas the warrior has this unique oh, I get an AC buff for free kind of that's sort of interesting to me. I don't know, that's just our opinions. I'm curious as to what you guys think. If you want to write down in the comments, do you think these are too strong? Do you think they're too weak? Do you think they're boring? Do you think they're fun? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? I'm going to ask you 8 questions, apparently. Head down in the comments and answer all of those questions. And then when you're done with that, head over to Twitter and talk to us there. You can talk to me at QueueTimes.
I'm Indigo. You can talk to me there at IndigoQT, or you can talk to both of us at all of the following social medias. Apparently, I haven't done this in a while. Until next time, we've been GameGorgon.
Let us know how you like our new table! Woo!